I thought long and hard about if I should make this video, guys. Do I want to give these tactics away for free? Do I want everyone to be hitting elite like I'm hitting elite? But then I thought back and I thought, I'm a generous guy, Being Canadian, we like to share. We like everyone to get in on the action. So guys, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring you my 4-2-2-2 tactics that have changed my life, and I hope they can change your life too. So let's get into it. So what's going on, guys? It's the Red Swish, and I'm going to bring you all my tactics that I use through the weekend league. I've improved in this game so much since the start of the year, and I think these latest tactics I have definitely been one of the reasons why. This is the team I'm using. As you can see, it's a really nice team. So maybe that helps me a little bit too, but I feel like it's the tactics. So we'll take a look at that as well. It's a very balanced formation. It's got a lot of everything. So let's stop wasting time. Let's get into the tactics. So as you can see, we got 4 tactics that we go with. I usually stick with the defensive one. Sometimes we go to the attacking, ultra attacking if I'm pressing for a goal, and ultra defensive if I need to sweat out a game in the last few minutes. Let's start with the main one I use, the defensive formation. So with this one, we start out on balanced and balanced. I can't press, guys. I'm terrible at the press. If you can use the press, by all means, switch to press after possession loss or pressure on heavy touch. For me, I like balanced. I like the shape. I like to manually press with my players or turn on the team press. So I keep it on balance, 7 depth for that auto offside trap. Going on to the offensive style, I keep it balanced as well. You can do long ball, but because I have my strikers doing something that a lot of people don't have their strikers doing, I like to keep it on balance so that I don't get caught out of position too much. On to the actual tactics now. Both strikers are going to be default except for comeback on defense. I do this not so that they come back and that we're defending with all 11. I do it so that when we win the ball, my strikers are closer to the midfield, closer to the defenders. When there's no center attacking mid, there's kind of a hole in the middle sometimes. And I used to lose possession a lot that way when I would get the ball because I would just send it up and there'd be no one there to get it. Having the strikers on comeback on defense means at least one of them will come back and get the ball for you and start your attack. Obviously, for these positions, get your goal scorers, get some fast guys, get some good dribblers, get some guys that can finish, preferably with a good weak foot, because you'll find your players get caught on both sides. With your right attacking mid and left attacking mid, there's not much to do here. We just have them on get into the box for cross. We don't need them to come back on defense because they usually hang around there anyways. Ideal players for this, standard wingers. I use Sancho and Dembele. Use those kinds of players, man, because they'll be able to put in lots of crosses and get lots of shooting opportunities as well. In the midfield, I have 2 box-to-box mids. If you have a defensive mid, feel free to switch one of these tactics to stay back on defense. I use Llorente and De Bruyne in the midfield, so I want both of them kind of being able to join the attack. So I only have them on cover center. Everything else is default. As long as the work rates are okay, you won't run into a problem where they both get caught up the pitch. Just make sure one of them has at least high defensive work rate, just so you're a little bit more solid. The back line, very simple. I used to try and get my fullbacks to join the attack and I would get caught out way too much. So I keep them on stay back while attacking. Sometimes I manually have them join the attack, but for the most part, you don't even need them because you're going to have 6 attackers going forward most times. Keep them on overlap just in case you need the extra width. Not much else there. And for the keeper, I like my keepers coming out for crosses and being sweeper keepers. Do what you like here. So that's what we do most games against a standard formation. The only reason why I switch to the attacking formation, and I'll show you the differences here. Usually if I see my opponent bringing their fullbacks forward to kind of create an overlap, I switch to this formation and I'll show you why. So this time I do have the press after possession loss. That's just to mix it up and to get it a little more aggressive. Like I said, I'm not great with it, but it does work in some instances for me. Depth stays about the same. Width, players in the box, stays about the same. Now into the instructions, and we have some changes. So on my strikers now, everything's still default, except we have them on stay forward while attacking. And I'll get to this in a second. We don't have them on comeback on defense anymore. With the right attacking mid and left attacking mid, we also keep them all on default, except for get into the box for cross again, and we have them on stay forward as well. The main reason for having all 4 of these guys on stay forward, when I play teams that have attacking fullbacks, I trust myself enough to win the ball and get the ball back, and then just hoof it forward to 4 guys standing on top of the line. If they had one of their fullbacks coming forward, it's a 4-on-3. If they had both of their fullbacks coming forward, it's a 4-on-2. I score tons of goals against guys who are over aggressive with their fullbacks, and this has kind of been a game changer for me. I used to lose to teams like that because they would just pass it around a lot. Now we let them, we soak it up. As soon as we get the ball, We hit a long ball with one of our center mids or fullbacks or whoever. They all have great passing stats, so we have no problems there. We send it forward. We get easy counterattacks all the time. It's the only change. Everything else exactly the same, balanced on the midfielders, defenders all staying back. Just having all the attackers stay forward can make a world of difference against certain opponents. Going on to my ultra attacking formation, there's not much to change here. We do have it on constant pressure, high depth, fast build up, as well as everything else maxed out. You're just trying to score goals at this point. I don't switch to this very often. I'm more likely to stick with my attacking, but once in a while you just have to mix things up, and this is one of the tactics that does that. For that, we switch to a 4-3-1-2. For some reason, I find late in games with the press, this formation does a really good job, so that's why I use this one. You're going to have your strikers on get in behind and stay forward. You're going to have your cam on stay forward, and you're going to have your midfielders, basically, if they're not on get forward, like the right center mid and left center mid, you're going to have them on balanced. Fullbacks going forward, you just want everyone going forward. These ones we don't have to take too much time on. Get everyone forward, have your fullbacks on join the attack and overlap, have your midfielders getting forward, have your strikers getting forward. Everyone get forward. I'm going to go forward too. And the final tactic I use is my ultra defensive tactic. I do use this one in the last like 5 minutes or so if my opponent is very, very strong and I'm lucky to be winning that game or lucky to be in a draw where I want to hold on and go to extra time. I switch to this. I have no complaints about it. It's drop back. It's one depth. I know it's sweaty, but sometimes you got to do it. We switch to the long ball as well. Just obviously, we're just trying to get the ball out. We can't hold on to it. They're pressing. We just want it out of there. It is a 5-3-2. I know it's not the greatest. We don't like 5 at the back, but it does help me balance out my team a little bit better, and it switches up the formation, makes it a little less predictable if someone's been playing against the 4-2-2 all game. So I switch it up for that. Both strikers on comeback on defense, of course. 2 of my center mids I keep on stay back while attacking and cover center. I do let one center mid stay on balance just so we can kind of get a little bit more dynamic, have one more attacker just in case we need to break out a little bit. But I try not to drag them forward too much because we are trying to hold on to a lead. Center backs stay back while attacking. We already knew that. And then with my wing backs, I do have them on stay back while attacking and overlap. I do manually make them run down the wing as soon as they get the ball. I just let them knock it ahead. They're usually the ones that hold the ball for me at the end of the game. Make sure if you switch to a tactic like this, you've got some speed on the flanks. Sometimes I use my wingers here. I've been playing Kimmich there. He does just fine. Just make sure you have some guys that can take that ball down to the other corner. And that's it, guys. They're not too complicated, but they do work for me. I find I have a lot of fun. I get a lot of chances, and it's very defensively solid as well. I do have a nice team, which helps out a lot, but it's the tactics, man. Look at me. Like I used to be a choke artist. I still am from time to time, but with these tactics, I feel much more confident, and I hope they can help you out too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try and post some more videos. I've been slacking hard. I'm going to get back at it. I promise. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time.